anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 8th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, the officers were conducting surveillance on the defendant who had active warrants out of the 178th as part of a fugitive task force when they observed the defendant's vehicle parked at a location where the defendant was prohibited from going due to an active protection order. The officers then observed the vehicle drive away, driven by the complainant of the defendant's open case in the 178th. The officers then observed the vehicle to have an expired registration and initiated a traffic stop. The officer then found the defendant hiding in the back seat. Both the complainant and the defendant acknowledged that the defendant was prohibited from the residence.
So she was at the
She was at
residence.
the complainant's residence, yes.
Was she with the complaining
With the
witness
complainant.
as well?
Yes. They
Okay,
were
so
together.
how bad are we talking the ag assault? Do you mind telling me about that?
I'll tell you about the aggravated assault, Your Honor. So in the aggravated assault, the officers were dispatched to a disturbance and they met with the complainant who stated he was involved in a verbal altercation at a bar earlier in the morning. And then once the complainant arrived home, he was locked out of his house and had to force the door open. And that started another disturbance with the defendant. The defendant threw several items at the complainant and the defendant began to strike the complainant on the back of his neck several times with their hands. And the officer observed the complainant to have red scratch marks on his neck. Further, the defendant retrieved a black compact handgun and pointed it at the complainant and racked the slide, thereby placing the complainant in fear for his life.
Okay. Escobar, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I want you to understand something very, very clear. The Texas Constitution does not allow me but in extremely limited circumstances to hold someone at bond. Zero bond. This is that situation. I'm going to put a protective order naming this person as a protected individual. If you so much as do anything to violate any of these conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at no bond. And I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person in my county.